Good evening, fellow members. I would like to welcome you all for today's program. I would also request CA Mahesh, Bhavishya Sharma and Bhavita Pasi to please come on the dais. Can we have a round of applause to welcome them to the dais? And I request Bhavishya Sharma and Bhavita Pasi to hand over a floral bouquet to welcome CA Mahesh. So this particular event is planned considering our chairman's view or vision, I would say, where one of the vision during his takeover period was global opportunities, creation of global opportunities for the chartered accountants. So with that being said, now there is a bonding and the bridging between ICAI and CPA Australia. So considering this, we thought we will arrange or we'll initiate one such program in the Bengaluru branch of ICAI for the benefit of all our members. So once again, I would like to welcome from the Bengaluru branch of ICAI to the members from CPA Australia and CA Mahesh as well. I would like to introduce the speakers for the event. Mahesh has over 13 years of experience in risk advisory services, including internal audits, ICFR, SOX framework development and testing, forensic assignments, and IT reviews. He is also involved in go-to-marketing strategies of the firm, driving expansion and enhancing brand presence. Throughout his career, he has engaged extensively with clients across diverse sectors including IT, ITES, manufacturing, hospitality, healthcare, education, and many more. He has successfully led large-scale and intricate engagements across global markets including India, Australia, Middle East, Philippines, USA, South Africa, and Malaysia. And I'm pretty sure there will be more countries to will be added to the list. Presently engaged with Protivity as an associate director within their internal audit practice. Prior to this role, Mahesh has gained valuable experience working with reputable consulting firms both in India and abroad. Can we have a round of applause for Mahesh? Thank you so much. Next we have Bhavishya Sharma. Bhavishya has over a decade of experience working in education, training, and consulting. Previously, Bhavishya has worked with some of the largest education providers globally, including Manipal Global Education, City and Guilds UK, and Pearson Education USA. Having commenced his career in education management, Bhavishya has worked across the functions in education and skills over the past decade, including a project with Ministry of Skills as a consultant. He has also worked on a project with Indian Army as a trainer for soft skills and communication skills. Training Indian Army is probably a very unique set that you possess.
And just to add on to that, so I remember I was deployed in Bangalore itself. It was MEG, Madras Engineering Group, and it was in 2011-12. So that's when I did the project, and then I got deployed in Bihar Regiment Center.
Nice. So we have a gentleman who has worked with the Indian Army. That's really great. In the current capacity at CPA Australia, Bhavishya is leading senior stakeholder relations and corporate partnerships in India for CPA Australia. Additionally, he is also responsible for member growth and support in India through a team of professionals. So with this brief background, I present before you Bhavishya Sharma. And also I would like to welcome Bhavita Pasi from CPA Australia. Thank you so much for coming here today and addressing us. So, and also before handing over the stage to the speakers, from the Bangalore branch, we have planned for 4 certification courses in the month of October and November. The first one will be FAFD, and the second one will be pertaining to the sustainability reporting. Third one will be pertaining to AI. So you might be hearing a lot of aspects AI in ICAI, right? So we are hosting one of the certification course pertaining to that, and the last one would be visa certification course as well. So yes, with this, I would like to hand over the dais to the speakers here today. Thank you so much, and welcome to you.
First of all, thank you so much, Shripadji. It's been an interesting journey, especially with Bangalore branch. Although it's been almost over a year that we were not able to plan our visit to Bangalore branch, but I just want to thank all the past president, current president of ICAI, the chairman of Bangalore branch, and all the team members, all the coordinators who have been coordinating with the CPA Australia team. It's been an amazing friendship, I would rather say. So thank you once again, Bangalore branch ICAI members. Thank you so much for being here. There are some interesting things that I will be sharing with you. I'm sure a lot of you are aware about ICAI CPA Australia mutual recognition pathway and what entails in this pathway. But broadly speaking, we will delve into the program itself. We also have a very interesting member with us, Mahesh. We conduct a lot of member events in Bangalore. In fact, we did an event yesterday itself at Four Seasons Hotel, right? Four Seasons Hotel, and since Mahesh has already cleared the requirement to become CPA Australia via mutual recognition agreement pathway, so we invited Mahesh to talk about how to prepare for the subject, what all nitty-gritties one need to be taken care of while preparing for a subject. But thank you so much once again. So before I begin my presentation, a special vote of thanks to Shripadji and thank you so much once again. Let's start. So before I begin, it was last month we met past ex-president of ICAI, Mr. Aniket Talati, at his office in Ahmedabad, and what an interesting discussion we had. In fact, Mr. Talati was sharing that he has been to Australia, I think 2 months back, and he has been to CPA Australia office to explore a lot of business opportunities, and a lot of things that he has shared we were not aware about. I'm sure a lot of you are aware about the way India and Australia has already signed ECTA. It is called as ECTA. ECTA is like unity. ECTA, which is Economic Cooperation Trade Agreement Act between India and Australia, under which Free Trade Agreement Act has been signed. A lot of goods and services are being sent to India and from India to Australia without duties. So a lot of things are happening between both the countries. A lot of businesses and services are picking up between both the countries, and I believe that's where somewhere, especially Mr. Talati has, it has generated a lot of interest over there. A lot of things are going to happen, and that's where we just thought that it is important for us, before the next semester opens up, it is important for us, Bangalore being one of the most important region wherein a lot of members are there from CPA standpoint. Ahmedabad is really important, Mumbai absolutely, Delhi. So these are 4 or 5 places where we saw a lot of people from the ICAI background has shown their interest in terms of picking up this qualification. So without wasting much time, let's start. I'll quickly cover 5 points about CPA Australia, what exactly CPA Australia is, our global network of corporates. So when I say our global network of corporates, or REP, as you can see, this REP stands for Recognized Employer Partners. I will share about it. There are around 400 or 500 organizations with whom we have already onboarded with us. In India, another organization which I'm sure everybody is aware about, Ernst & Young, we have onboarded them as our recognized employer partner. A lot of organizations. So in this Bangalore visit, we have met Infosys. Infosys has shown its interest. HP has shown its interest to become our recognized employer partner in India as well. And a lot of, we have already onboarded around 20 or 25 organizations. And so I will give you a glimpse of those organizations as well. And then the most interesting mutual recognition pathway, which is between ICAI and CPA Australia, and what are the documents required. And finally, my colleague Babita will be there to support us with the Q&A section. I'm sure there will be questions from your side, and she has been with us in the system for almost 10 years, and she knows a lot of insights about CPA Australia and a lot of requirements, so she will be supporting us with the Q&A session. So about CPA Australia, as you can see, we have around 1/4 to 2 lakh members across the globe, out of which 1/5 or 1/6 of our members are currently leading the organization. So when I say leading the organization, what has happened around 10 years back, CPA Australia has changed its curriculum or moved away from very accounting specific kind of a qualification to business strategy and leadership, that you will also see in the subjects that I'm going to talk about over the course of my presentation. We are 135 years young professional accounting body, and the way we have our collaboration with ICAI in India, we have our collaboration with almost 25 plus other professional accounting bodies in the world. So a lot of people would want to know why CPA designation. Multiple reasons. Now when both the countries have collaborated with each other via Economic Cooperation Trade Agreement Act, there are numerous reasons which a lot of senior ICAI leaders, senior ICAI members are also trying to figure out. But quick 5 things that we have realized was global recognition, leadership potential, industry updates. Industry updates, I'm sure, being a member of a reputed fraternity like Institute of Chartered Accountants, you must be getting a lot of industry updates from ICAI. Similarly, CPA Australia will also provide you another interesting insights from the global standpoint. Networking opportunities. This is something that I always say, and it's one of the strong foothold that we have, and we always say that your network somewhere defines your net worth, and that's what we do. We bring in a lot of senior industry members. We bring in a lot of industry bodies. So when I say industry bodies, so a lot of Indo and Australian organizations have collaborated, wherein they are bringing a lot of businesses together to shake hands, match the requirements and fulfill how they can do that. So recently we have also tied up with one of the industry body, which is called as Indo-Australia Chamber of Commerce, wherein they take a lot of dignitaries or delegates from India to Australia. There has been a recent visit, and so all right. So I was just being mindful of the code of conduct. So I was just having a discussion with the chairman, and I was just sharing that there has been a recent visit, and my apologies that we could not mention it earlier, but there has been a recent visit from India to Australia of which has been facilitated by Indo-Australia Chambers of Commerce. And I'm happy to share that CPA Australia in India is a member of Indo-Australia Chambers of Commerce, and in the month of February, Indo-Australia Chambers of Commerce have what they do, they have multiple sectors, like, you know, education sector. So there are a lot of organizations from Australia, there are a lot of organizations from India in education sector. Then there is probably another sector, let's say manufacturing sector, another sector. So there are around 15-20 sectors that they cater to. And in February, they launched financial leadership forum, which is, to be specific, it's a financial sector. And a lot of Indo and Australian firms have collaborated there. So our idea is to provide the platform to our members, be they are in the industry or in practice, how we can provide them the platform to network, to find out the right set of opportunities. I'm sure, being a chartered accountant, you are smart enough to, you know, find out the opportunities out of the platter which will be provided to you. And so that's what we want to do for our members, and that's what we will keep on doing. And lifelong learning, the last one. Similarly, the way ICAI have your, I think it is called as, correct me if I'm wrong, it is called as digital hub, where you get a lot of e-modules, a lot of online learning modules. Similarly, CPA Australia, it's for its members, we have the way you have to complete the CPE hours. Similarly, being a part of any professional body, you have to complete the CPD hours in CPA Australia. So we have got around 250 plus CPD modules, and they have been regularly updated. So the latest module that we have is where the main hoopla and sound is all about, which is, I think, being a chartered accountant, I'm not a CA, but I know that it's really an important thing right now, which is called as sustainability. I think there has been a norm around sustainability reporting and a lot of things. So CPA Australia has launched CPD module around sustainability as well. Distinctive features. So it's an online open book examination, and you can give the examination from nearby testing center. Since all of you are based out of Bangalore, I'm happy to share with you that we have 2 testing centers in Bangalore, so you can go to the center. It's an open book examination that you can pick up. Many of our members generally finish their studies within 1.5 to 2 years, but this is not. This is for those who are not chartered accountants. For CAs, it generally takes around 6 months to 7 months, because I will not spill the bean right now, let that come on to the presentation. The CPA program also offers, as I have already mentioned, the knowledge around strategy, management and leadership. That is basically the crux of the subject that you will be going through once you pick up the qualification. Highest exam passing rate. Globally, if anybody, and especially when it comes to chartered accountants, in India, we have seen the passing rate has been around 65 to 70% for CAs, or for those people who are attaining the qualification. So this is something that I was talking about. So Indo-Australian Chamber of Commerce that we have become a member of, and we also identify members. So they conduct a lot of events in India across various regions. So when they launched their financial leadership forum, they did the event in Bangalore itself. So we invited a lot of our members, senior members in Bangalore, CPA members, who are also chartered accountants. Quick glimpse of the member events that we conduct, and a lot of knowledge sharing sessions that happen. So tomorrow we are going to Chennai, and we are conducting a members meet in Chennai, where we have invited some CFOs from the organizations. So I will not dwell much into it, since, as I can see, you are all experienced chartered accountants. I will not get into the kind of skills the organizations are looking for. I'm sure you all are aware about it. So let's in detail now talk about the mutual recognition agreement. So if you look at CPA Australia, it comprises of 10 subjects, right? 4 in foundation. Unlike the rigorous curriculum of ICAI, wherein there are 3 levels. So there is 2 levels, one is foundation and another one is main CPA program subjects. So it comprises of 10 subjects. As you can see, very simple. All the green tick marked are exempted for chartered accountants. So what has happened in 2009 was when the experts from both the institute, ICAI as well as CPA Australia, they sat together and they realized that there is a lot of similarity in terms of qualification. But somewhere it is important to let's plug the gap with the strategy and leadership module that can somewhere a lot of people are already in the leadership position, but it generally put the understanding into certain perspective that can be utilized. So the only subject that needs to be taken up is global strategy and leadership. Rest of all the subjects are exempted. And yes, there is no exemption fees. Once exempted, you need not to pay any exemption fees for the subjects. Become a CPA study requirement, as I have already mentioned. So once you become an associate member, the subject is global strategy and leadership, and the online module is better practice in governance and accountability, which is an online kind of a CPD module, continuous professional development module, that you can complete anytime during 365 days of enrollment. A quick snapshot of the process. So there are certain set of documents which are required from your end. We have a team of professionals based out of, in India we are headquartered out of Delhi, and we have some team of professionals who support the potential applicants to file their application, because it's a very rigorous application. You have to file the legible documents, and it will take around 15 days to get your assessment outcome. The assessment team is based out of Melbourne. And once you get your assessment outcome, being a chartered accountant, since you are directly getting into a main CPA program, so you are eligible to become an associate member. So you can start using ASA CPA Australia in your designation, even without giving an examination. Once you activate your associate membership, you can immediately enroll for the subject and pass the exam, attain a designation. So, global strategy and leadership, the subject that I was talking about, it comprises of 7 modules, as you can see. It starts off with it's a very interesting subject. I will not dwell much into it. I would be inviting Mahesh to discuss more about it, but I'll just give you it as a roadmap. It comprises of 7 modules, starts with the introduction on strategy and leadership, understanding the external environment of the organization, internal environment of the organization, overall product development, market development, and finally implementing and leading the strategy. So we have the subject outline. So if you all have registered for this session, you will receive an email from our side that will be carrying the subject outline. It's a 5 or 6 page document that you can go through. Learning outcome, I will stop here, and I would like to invite Mahesh to talk about the subject and his own experience. Thank you, Mahesh.
Thank you. So I think you're all waiting for diesel subject. So just hope you can hear me, right?
Yeah, we are.
So first of all, thank you so much, for coming here in spite of Bengaluru traffic. I can see many of you are traveling from your offices. So thanks for that. Yeah. So before we go on to the subject, right? So when I put in my exam, right? So I had a lot of doubts. Like I was like, why should I write this subject? So being a CA from ICAI, then I've done, let's say, CS, CMA, CNP, CISA, CNSS, FAA. When I've done all these certifications, so why should I write? So okay, right. Is it clear, sir? Now? Yes. Okay. All right. So before when I enrolled for this CPA Australia, so I had a lot of doubts, like why should I write this subject after clearing so many certifications including CA, CS, CMA, CMP, CNSS. So when last year we had a conference with the leadership team. So I have raised this query, like why should I can't hear. Can you hear me, sir, now?
Yeah.
It's better? Still not clear? Right. Alright. So, sir, it's clear now, sir?
Yeah.
You can hear me, right? Yeah. So, I had raised this question in the conference saying that why should we write when we are having so many qualifications, and especially, in CA only we have covered a lot of subjects. We have 3 modules of that. So, they told me that, okay, there's a purpose why CPA Australia is asking us to grade this subject. So, they told me like this is like your mini MBA. Even if you do MBA, so the knowledge what you get, right? If you read this subject, you will get equivalent knowledge. Of course, you will not get your costing, finance, all that. But in terms of, let's say, to understand an organization or industry, to develop your strategies, all that, if you read this subject, I'm sure that you will get, the feeling that you are as if you studied a mini MBA. So that's the crux of this subject. Also, yeah, so as Bhavesh said, like here there are some 7 modules in this subject. So when I say module, it's module nothing but it's chapter. So 7 chapters you can call it, since in our CA we referred more of chapters than the modules. So 7 chapters. The first chapter generally talks about the introduction and introduction to the strategies, then the leadership. So introduction to the leadership. Sir, it's clear, right? Hope I think I can see the hand there.
It's clear, sir.
It's clear, right? Okay. So the first chapter basically talks about introduction to leadership and then the strategies. In the leadership, right, where we can learn certain new styles of leadership. So let's say it depends on your organization. See, if your organization is startup, then what kind of leadership style you are supposed to implement and you should follow. So your organization, let's say matured organization, then what kind of style of leadership styles you need to implement. So to give an example, let's say consulting approach or directive approach or dictative approach. So with these kind of styles, right, we can learn like wherever you're working, like your managers, your colleagues will fit into one of these categories. So we can understand certain techniques, how we can manage things with those people. That's about first chapter. The second chapter is like again, the second module is all about your understanding your external environment. So there are a couple of techniques. You can see these techniques and all we already know because we have studied in our IPCC or CA final. But still, why do we need this subject? So let's say if I explain you a story, let's say Mahabharata, Ramayana, or you take an example of Kalki. Simply without showing you the pictures, images, if I explain you this is about Kalki story, then you might understand, yes, okay, this is the story. But if I show you the same story in the on a big screen with the images, with the actors and all, so you will understand even better. Same way, this subject, though the concepts are very old or legacy concept, it will help you to walk into a real life through the real life business case studies. So that's the difference between the CPA Australia and other institutes. So here, right, they have given a lot of case studies or business case studies. All these are real life case studies. When you say real life studies, these are the companies have implemented these strategies, then they got benefited. So if you at the end of each chapter, they have given the references like from where they have taken these case studies. So I also went through the references. So the case studies they have taken it mainly from the annual reports of the companies, through websites, through some research reports, let's say Harvard or Stanford. So for each example, each topic, you are supported with a real life case studies. That is the beauty of this subject. So moving on to the next module, next chapter, which is external environment. So here there are, let's say, to give a glimpse of it, let's say there are some 2 techniques. Digital technique, they call it a steeple technique. Again, steeple means it's like S for your social, T for technology, E for economical, E for ethics, P for politics. Through these factors, how we can understand your business or industry or your company, how we can gain your competitive advantage. So it talks about these techniques. So one more example is, let's say, your Porter 5-force model. So with this technique, how you can analyze your industry or example, your company basically. So to quote some examples here, they have analyzed accounting industry. If you see that the analysis that they have done by using these techniques, it is like top notch. So they've given all this, like let's say, increase from 1952 till 2010, how the accounting moved, what kind of, because of these external factors, how it impacted the accounting industry, then how it moved from 1952 till date. So with these kind of practical cases, business studies, you'll be able to understand the subject very well. So that's about the external environment. Then if I go to third module, it's like this again, understanding your internal environment. So when I say internal environment, you know very well, including your management, stakeholders. So in this chapter, basically they use a couple of techniques. It's like your SWOT analysis, your benchmarking, BCC matrix. Then other technique like gap analysis, balance scorecard. All this, these strategies, these concepts are not new for us. Correct. I think you would have studied somewhere. If you've done CMA, CSNL, you would have studied even one more time. But here the thing is, all these concepts, they are supported with the real life cases. How companies have used these strategies, how they have benefited. Again, when I say real life cases, these are literally facts. You can go and check in their website, literally fact. To give an example, there is one case law on about 3M. 3M company, I think many of you are aware of 3M, right? 3M, they have a rule called 30% rule, which means that they ensure that their revenue should come from at least 30% of revenue should come from their new products. That is the strategy that they follow. But again, so why do we need that? Okay, because they have done a study and they've given that by using these techniques, how 3M has benefited, how they are doing their R&D. So by reading this, you can literally visualize. It will not be a theory subject. So if you read only theory, the SWOT analysis, just for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, it will be a theory. But if you connect with your real life case studies, it will become much more, understand for you. It will be, you can apply in your practical life also. Again, the fourth chapter is about your product, services, and market development. If you want to introduce your new product into a different market, different geography, niche market, what kind of techniques you can follow, how you can introduce. So these are the stuff which again, it's not new for us, since if you have some experience, right, either in industry or practice, I'm sure that it is easy for you, it's a cakewalk for you to understand these techniques. The fifth one again, how the development of a strategy, how a company can develop a strategy by using all these phases. Let's say now we have started introduction, leadership, then the understanding external environment. The third one is understanding the internal environments. Then fourth one is the developing of new products and services and markets. The fifth one is like by linking all this, how can you develop a strategy for a company? Again, here also they use a couple of techniques like the strategies, like the SWOT analysis, benchmarking, all that. So also they have given a couple of cases here, like say Zara. Zara is a clothing brand. I think everyone knows, right? They've given a lot about Zara, like how they have used again their techniques, marketing techniques, how they have developed. To quote one more example is like Microsoft. How Microsoft they have entered into a China market. Then let's say Netflix. Then all this whatever I'm quoting this example, these are literally coming from the books, coming from the same book. Netflix again, Netflix when they started in US, how the market was, how they what kind of challenges they faced. By using this SWOT analysis, benchmarking again, how they overcome all this with all these challenges. So these are little learning for us. So one more example is Uber. Uber, let's say they had a lot of compliance issues in other countries. Of course, in India also. Again, the strategies, the techniques, how they overcome all these compliances. So these are the real life cases which will help us to read, to become this not a theory subject, it's a practical subject. So I think till now you're clear, right? What are the concepts here? The next one is, let's say, now the fifth one is like how to develop a strategy. Once you develop, again, how to implement a strategy. That will be your sixth one. So to implement a strategy, like we know, there is a concept called McKinsey's 7S rule. 7 concept, wherein 7S stands for, like say, S for society, S for again skills, staff, systems. So by using this technique, how you can implement a strategy. So that can be for any company, whether you're into manufacturing or service. So this chapter talks about more on implementation side. The last one, the last module or last chapter is about your how to monitor. There's once you implement your strategy, how to monitor, then how to continue with the strategy. Then the new business models. So let's take an example of Netflix. It was not there at least when we have studied CA. I think many of us should have cleared long back. So it was not the, let's say, subscription model, freemium. There is something called freemium model, free model, open source model. So they talk about the new business models which are evolving in the recent past actually. So that's why you should read even seventh module. So seventh module covers all these new topics. The beauty of this is this subject, this model, this subject is revised every semester. They come up with it's not the topics may be legacy topics, but they come up with a new case studies on a real-time basis or recent ones. So that's the beauty of the subject. So this again, everyone knows this open book exam. So you don't have to again remember like what is benchmarking, what is my balance code, and you can carry the book to your exam center. But just that it is like memorized. It's not memorized exam. It is like concept-based exam. So where you know the concept, you will be able to answer the questions. That's the thing. Then so we have other facilities given by the CPA. So that's like we have hard copy book. That's one. Then we have something called online learning, wherein you will get the same book in a soft copy. So wherein you can refer your soft copy whenever you want. Then we have something called video. Online learning is like where they'll give you videos. Each chapter, each topic will be explained by a different third party. Though it is an Australian accent, but it is easily it's a simple language where everyone can understand. Simple to understand. So these topics also again, it is not like say somebody would have recorded and they are giving. It's not like that. It is updated. So every semester they review the subject, they see the changes accordingly. They update the videos. They give the real time recent examples. Let's say when I studied last year, they are talking about COVID, like how the companies have implemented certain strategies during COVID, which means that these are the recent case studies. So that's one video of the subject. So generally when you see strategy, leadership, all that, it's like a whole very boring and but I'm sure that once you watch these videos, right, you will never feel that it's a theory subject. Also, like when you're watching the videos, right, they give a lot of graphical presentations. Let's say if they're talking about Uber, so they'll Uber logo will come, then they'll explain through some graphical presentations which will help you to understand better way. So that's the other thing. Also, they provide a lot of examples, as I said, recent examples. You have option to ask questions also. So though it is video recorded, but there's an option to ask. Let's see how if you're not understanding certain concept, you can go and ask the questions. The tutor will reply, not immediately, but definitely he'll reply. That's the other thing. Then there for each topic they have given certain questions where you can answer because that will help you during your examination. So that's about online learning. So you have some model tests also like 4 model tests will be there, which will represent your final exam. So that's about GSL. So you have a paper, a book, soft copy, online learning, videos. You have groups too. Like apart from this online learning, so if you go to CPA Australia website, there are a lot of groups. Like so for each subject, people are creating some groups. If you join the groups, there you can post your questions, or somebody if you post your questions, you will see the answers also. So those things also will help you a lot. I think that's about the GSL and online learning. If you have any questions, probably I'll be able to answer. Thank you so much.
Sir, is it case study basis? How it works? I mean, what is the paper? How is the paper will be solved? We are coming from traditional thing.
Sir, can we reserve the questions once we end?
Okay.
Then we would Kavita and myself and Mahesh, we will ensure that we are answering all the questions.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mahesh. Once again, you have already stolen my thunder. A lot of things I wanted to say, but you have already said it. Anyways, but thank you so much once again. So examination earlier was online proctored, but now since we already have test centers in Bangalore and in most of the prominent cities, metropolitan cities, so online proctored has only been reserved for those applicants who live more than 200 or 300 kilometers away from the test centers. So, and sometimes, so generally people also used to give examination from the home. So online proctored means giving examination from home. So online exam will be held either from the test center or somebody is giving from home. But for all people who are, since you all are from Bangalore, so you can give the exam from test center. Two test centers we have. Preparatory time, general preparatory time is around 10 to 12 to 15 hours per week for at least 3.5 months. Pattern is MCQ based and certain extended responses. So Mahesh can correct me if I'm wrong. So it comprises of 80 questions, and out of 80 questions, 68 questions are MCQ based, and 10 to 12 questions are case study based extended responses. So and one thing Mahesh has shared, which is it's an online proctored, as mentioned on the slide also, it's an open book exam. But I always say this, that open book doesn't mean that it will be an easy thing to crack. And sometimes one of the speakers was mentioning it that don't consider, it's not a rocket science, since the passing rate has been around 60-65% for the chartered accountants, but it's not a cakewalk either. So a lot of people, you know, I don't want to use that term, but you have to prepare it rigorously. You have to go through, and it's an, as Mahesh has already mentioned it, and I completely second it. I was sitting with one of the CEOs of one of the largest conglomerate in India, and interestingly, that CEO is CPA Australia member. And during COVID, a lot of senior leaders picked up this program. And then that CEO mentioned it as, you know, it's kind of a mini MBA. So that was really interesting to know, and what an interesting office. So his office was directly inside the Mumbai airport, and when flights were landing or they were taking off, it was a big Italian window from where we were watching all this. But it was an interesting meeting. Upcoming examination period is April 25. The enrollment will start from November, and November till December end, the enrollments will happen. But you can start your application process right now, and there are certain important set of documents. But before I move further, could I see all of those people who are into practice? Thank you so much. And people who are, you know, industry employed. Thank you. So study support, I will not dwell it too much, as Mahesh has very beautifully explained about the study support. So there will, the moment you will enroll for the subject, you will immediately receive the online PDF of the course book within a span of, I think, Mahesh, it takes around a month's time to get your book delivered directly from Melbourne office. Just 2 weeks, I'm sorry. So it takes around 2 weeks for you. The book will be directly delivered to your registered address from our Melbourne office. Even India office doesn't receive the book. It is very specifically for the members who are giving the examination. And there are, as he has already mentioned, I will not go much deeper. Yeah, so there is mid and end semester examination, just to give you the flavor of the main exam. So mid and end semester examination are something similar the way you are giving the examination from the test center. You can give it from your home itself. Better practice in governance, which is a CPD module, so you can give anytime from your home. It's an online module that you can give it from your home. 40 multiple choice questions whenever you are ready. Within a span of 365 days or within a year, you can complete this module. Documentary evidence, as you can see, all the mark sheets of all the levels, and most importantly, so the most important document that we have seen, and we have seen that a lot of chartered accountant faces challenge, is good standing certificate. And they generally tick mark on you know, the fees that they are paying to the institute, which is good. then we have never came across anybody having any disciplinary action against them. But the third point is really a challenge. So I want to see the hands of all those people who are yet to complete their CPE hours. And now all those people can honestly raise their hands who haven't raised their hands. So this is the challenge that we have seen, that CPE hours are not completed, so it takes a lot of time, and especially when it comes to the practicing chartered accountants, it's a different set of requirement. So please complete your CPE hours, then only you would be able to apply for the good standing certificate. And then the mark sheets for all the subjects, for all the levels, and since CPA Australia sits above the graduation level, so if somebody is not a graduate, they cannot pursue CPA program. And along with that, one needs to have 3 years of work experience. So graduation plus 3 years of work experience, then you can start your program. You cannot even start your program also. The beauty with chartered accountants and this mutual recognition agreement is, so CPA Australia does not consider internship. So it has to be a full-time employment, 3 years employment. But the beauty of this mutual recognition agreement is that since chartered accountants, you go through that 3 years of articleship, that's what we call it. So we consider that as an employment for chartered accountants. So there are 2 pathways to enter into or submit your document. One is via ICAI document plus graduation. We have also seen that a lot of people probably, they are not able to find their graduation documents, or probably since you can start your ICAI journey directly after 12th standard. So a lot of people may not have the graduation, which doesn't matter, because I think it has been implemented last year that being a chartered accountant means it is at a master level, if I'm not wrong, right? So it has. It's post graduation. It's post graduation. So, but in order to apply for CPA program, you need to submit your graduation document if you are going through the graduation route. But if someone doesn't have or misplaced their graduation documents, you can take minimum 5 years of work experience, wherein we will consider your 3 years of articleship if you, if your overall work experience does not fulfill the 5 years of requirement, we will consider 3 years of articleship plus 2 years of additional work experience requirement.
Sir, I have done graduation first in Delhi, then did CA in Delhi. So what should I do now?
Nothing, you can submit your 3 years of mark sheet, graduation mark sheet.
I don't have.
No problem. How much work experience do you have?
More than 10 years.
Amazing. Then you can go through the work experience. No problem. You can go through work experience route, wherein you can submit the following documents. So in work experience, sorry?
One size.
Okay. I don't know whether my slide will fit the largest font size, but
maybe we will send an email to you with the details.
Let me try.
I hope you understood.
Absolutely, sir.
You know everything, sir.
No, sir, I don't know everything, sir. I don't know. So I think I have tried my level best to increase the font size.
Okay, you can explain.
Yes. So there are 2 sets of work experience. One is industry employed, and that's the reason that I have asked you. And another one is practicing chartered accountant. So great. So a lot of practicing CAs are there, and for industry employed chartered accountant, if you are going through the work experience route, then you can submit the statement of service, and that statement of service should have your name, your don't worry about the working hours, because it's basically very Australian norm that when somebody get the statement of service in Australia or with Australian employer, they give the working hours also. But in India, mere khayal se this is not the norm, so you don't get the working hours in India, but you get the tenure. From this date to this date, you have worked with an organization. So for all the industry employed, you can submit your statements of service. For all the practicing chartered accountant, again, there are two kind of practicing chartered accountants. One could be sole proprietor or another one? Partnership. Thank you so much. So another one could be the partnership. So when it comes to the practicing chartered accountant, you can submit your certificate of practice along with all the other documents. I completely understand if someone is feeling that, my goodness, so much of documents. Yes, I'm so sorry for that, and that's the reason that we have our very strong professional team in India who supports the application filing.
Your dual, how do you do that?
Sorry?
Certain you have been employed also and you are doing practice also later on. Which you should?
So
5 years is minimum. If you have 5 years of employment, you declare that.
So you can give your 3 years of articleship letter,
Yeah.
and then 2 years. I mean, you can give your
We
state.
have a length of 10 years of employment.
So
is
We
it-
need total of 5 years of work experience. So in that case, you can provide any of the 5 years of work experience.
Anyone, 5 years.
Anyone.
anyone.
It is not limited to 5, you can give it for 10 years.
Yeah.
Minimum 5 years is required.
Minimum 5 years is a requirement, and if you have 20 years and you want to provide 20 years, that's completely
So you
fine.
need a certificate from that employer actually.
Yeah, basically the documents which clarify that you are employed for minimum period of 5 years, that is a work experience certificate, or in case of partnership firm or a proprietorship firm, the document sets like require the establishment proof of the partnership firm or a proprietorship firm.
So the purpose why I asked is we have run through all these, which one to declare.
You can. I
You
mean,
can declare anything, so whichever, if you want to declare the current one, that is also fine. Sometimes people find it convenient that they have the work experience documents and the requirement for the practicing document are little bit more. So they just provide those 5 years of work experience in order to avoid the too much of documentation. But we are fine with that. For us, like in order to meet the criteria, if you are providing 5 years, that is good.
rest, we will share the email with you, and there are team members who will support you in order to make you understand the kind of documents which needs to be submitted if you are going through a work experience pathway. Now comes the main part. So your overall investment, since there is an exemption fees not applicable for chartered accountants, so your overall investment into the program already boils down by 80 to 85%. If somebody is not a chartered accountant, they would end up in Indian currency, they would end up investing around 5 to 6 lakh rupees because they have to go through each and every subject. So initial application fees is waived off, which is 190 to approximately 10,000 rupees, is waived off via a promo code that will be shared with you once you share the documents, revert with the documents on the email that you are going to receive. The associate membership fees is 170 Australian dollars half yearly. The full year fees that will be most likely will be applicable from mid of October is 341 Australian dollars, which is a full year fees. Now, full year fees, you get 2 semesters. I'm not sure if probably I have missed out on it, but CPA Australia is a twice a year semester system. Examinations are held in the month of April and October. So when you are giving a full year fees, you have a choice to give examination either in April or in October, depending on your schedule that you can see. The examination fees is for global strategy and leadership is 1,505 Australian dollar. Australian dollar is around 55 rupees. There is always an early bird window. So early bird window is there is around 170 $170 discount. So it's the early bird fees is 1,335. I have not mentioned it over here because it's a current applicable fees. Fees may change as per the semester, but currently applicable fees is 1,505. The early bird fees is $170 less. Early bird window is around 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So we generally support our members who are giving the examination to enroll as early as possible, get hold of your study material, start preparing for the subject, and why to spend $170 extra, and there is a window. The better practice in governance and accountability, non-member fees, if somebody is not a member, is around 800 Australian dollars. For the members who are associate members, for them it's 400 Australian dollar fees. Now, the most important part. So when I was talking about various member events or networking events, where you meet a lot of peers from the industry, you probably network from your business standpoint, opportunity standpoint. You need not to wait for us to conduct those events. So this is something, a professional media platform, something similar, something like LinkedIn. So it's a CPA Australia professional media platform for all the members. We have around 45,000 members on this platform, out of which by the virtue of being an Australian body, 70 to 80% of the members are based out of Australia. The interesting part is a lot of those members hold CPA firms. And I remember around 2 or 3 months back when I was delivering a session in Ahmedabad, we invited a member who is a practicing chartered accountant, and he was sharing his journey, that how he used this platform to reach out to those CPA firms, because those CPA firms want to outsource a lot of work. Australia doesn't have people, so Australia population is not even equivalent to Delhi's population. What is the population of Bangalore? Any rough? Sorry?
1.2.
7 crore is Bangalore population.
1.5 crore.
1.5 crore. So just add 1 crore. So Bangalore is a city. It is not even a state. It is a city. And the population is 1.5 crore. Just add 1 crore more, and that's the Australia as a country's population. So they need a lot of people to work for them, to support them. So it totally depends on a person, how to network, and the way that person has shared his journey about connecting with a lot of CPA firms via this Member Connect portal. So you can connect with a lot of other members, understand their requirements, understand their the opportunity which is on the other side. And being a CPA, having that designation in front of your name will always put you in that credible platform in front of Australian firms. So how do you use it? I'm sure being a chartered accountant, you are smart enough to understand that. So I think, so this is our Australia, this is our India email ID as well as phone number. If you want, you can click a photograph of it, and you can reach out to us, although we would be reaching out to you. So that's it from my end, and I have my colleague Babita. So we are, and Mahesh also, we are happy to take questions from his side.
So why should we do CPA Australia, directly ACCA?
Sorry?
Why can't we do directly ACCA rather than doing this course?
So the question is?
Why should we do this?
So why should we do CPA Australia, not ACCA? Is that the question? Sir, why should you do ACCA is something that you should ask ACCA, I am not sure about it. But why should you do CPA Australia is that, that is something that we can talk about. So a lot of people who are having business interest in Australia, they are pursuing CPA programs. And
because ACCAs are global.
Sir, CPA Australia is global too, so we are represented by almost 4 to 2 lakh members across 100 plus countries, and a lot of countries recognizes also CPA Australia as a qualification. So, and why should you pursue one qualification or not? It totally depends on an individual. So, and whether you want to pursue ACCA, and you know what, interesting part, I'll tell you interesting part. I think you came a little late, you missed out on that. No problem. So I'll tell you an interesting part. We have our collaboration with, that I have shared with a lot of members who are sitting out of here. So we have a collaboration with 25 other professional accounting bodies, the way we have with the reputed Institute of Chartered Accountants. And ACCA is one of them, and CPA US is one of them. A lot of other bodies are there. So it totally depends on an individual. And sorry?
You can track us for this
presentation. It will be a little bit difficult for us, but we will provide you all the relevant information on the email itself.
Yeah.
What are the employment opportunities that CPA Australia?
Employment opportunities you want to know in India or?
Both sides.
Sorry?
Both, I mean India and
in India or Australia. So as Bhavishya during his presentation has talked about the recognized employer partnership with the various organizations.
I was not
No
Okay,
problem. No.
so we have more than 500 plus recognized employer partners, and in past 2 years we have made more than 25 plus recognized employer partners in India. So the recognition of the qualification is anyways there by the employer, and they do recognize. So the employment opportunities are there in plenty. So he talked about the meeting which we had today with HPE and Infosys, and ENY is already onboarding us as a recognized employer partner. And so which means like the organizations are opening doors for CPA Australia members, and you will be recognized, your qualification will be recognized. And being CPA, that will be an added value and added edge for you. And Mahesh himself, he is an associate director with Protivity, and he picked up the CPA Australia program for his own reason. I'm sure during the networking you can talk to him. But the main reason when somebody picked up the CPA Australia program, being a chartered accountant, you have already one professional qualification. But the MRA happened because of some reason which gives you a benefit of some of the component which was not covered in your CA qualification, and this is global strategy and leadership. So this component is very much missing because your course is more technical in nature, and when you will study this component from the CPA program subject, which itself is like a mini MBA, that actually you will be able to get some knowledge and insight about those areas where as an accountant sometimes you need to work on the strategies and help your team to build on the strategies for the benefit of the organization. So this is something is the outcome of that subject which you will able to imply as you grow in a senior level role. So that rest it's your decision why you want to pick up this global qualification.
And just to add to what Bhavika has mentioned, so while we were sitting with the CFO of HPE today, we have requested him, so he was sharing that there is some percentage turnover or attrition that they are looking at, and we would soon be getting the number of people that they want to hire at different levels. And as far as India is concerned, and last year or probably January or February this year, we met ANZ, which is Australia New Zealand Bank. So we are tapping into a lot of Australian firms, be it ANZ, be it NAB, which is National Australia Bank, and Telstra. I'm sure a lot of you. It's an Australian firm. You're working with Telstra. Okay. So Telstra is an Australian organization, and it's our recognized employer partner. And we reached out to Telstra in January, and Telstra has asked us to give them a pipeline of 3 to 5 years. That how much we can support them in giving them or providing them the CPA members. So there is no dearth of opportunity from India's standpoint. From Australia's standpoint, I will be very honest with you. So becoming a CPA does not give you a visa to Australia. Like every country, Australia has its very stringent requirements for migrating to Australia. So your age point is there, your qualification point is there, and if all those things matches up, the problem that we have seen, be it Australia, Canada, or any other country, is that people go there, they have dream America, American dream, Canadian dream, Australian dream. People go there, but the problem is that they don't find the right set of opportunities. So I remember someone, they has moved to Canada with a lot of dreams, Canada was inviting a lot of people some time back, and I was talking to them, and what he was supposed to do there, he's not doing that, and he's not happy. He's a close friend of mine, and he's just coming back. What we do, so the way ICAI you have your branches, you have your chapters. Australia is divided into 7 regions. Each region have their chapters. And one of the interesting part is 2 or 3 chapters are headed by CPA members in Australia. So what we do, we support our CPA members who are moving to Australia by connecting them with those chapters, because those chapters have the opportunities in their hands. And we connect you with those chapters so that you can get your right set of opportunities that you can identify. So there is no dearth of opportunities. People organization want right people, and right people are moving towards the right set of opportunities. Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Yes, sir. Sir, please have a seat, sir. Thank you, sir.
After clearing this CPA Australia, can I practice in Australia?
No, sir. You want to take that?
Yeah, so one can't practice in Australia. Australia has got different regulatory requirements. Like in India, you complete the ICAI program and you can straight away apply for the certificate of practice. But in Australia, they have got the different levels. People pick up the CPA Australia qualification, and afterwards they need to undergo the public practice program, which is offered by CPA Australia, and you need to be a CPA member in order to enroll into that program. And moreover, in order to practice in any country, you need to understand the law of the country, which is company law, and then the taxation subject of that country. So like if you are going through this route, you are not studying company law and Australia taxation. So these are the additional 2 components you need to undergo, and after you successfully complete that, you need to undergo the public practice management program, and you can practice in Australia. But by just attaining the qualification via MRL, you can't practice. You need to meet that component area of the public practice management, and then you can practice. But we were talking to somebody like who was in Australia practicing since 1986. He came back to India. So people might think that one can practice from India, but practically it is not possible, because when you are practicing, like you are a face of the organization, you have the signing authority, you can't do these things by sitting over here in India. So you need to be over there, so which means like you need to have the relevant work visa or some visa so that you can work over there.
Sir, just to add to what she has shared, 2 things. One is, correct me if I'm wrong, but under the ruling of IFAC, I think you cannot have practice certificate of 2 bodies. So another thing is, a lot of you are practicing chartered accountant, and basis on my experience of having discussion with a lot of practicing chartered accountant, somewhere they said that practicing is very much similar to having an understanding of business development. You need to develop a lot of clients. Similarly, when it comes to Australia and practicing globally, you have to invest yourself. You can practice by going through that particular process. You can practice, but are you willing? Are you ready to apply yourself? Are you ready to invest yourself? So practice is not a problem. You can do that, but all these components need to be taken care of.
One thing, if you mentioned can't practice, does it mean attestation cannot be done? Can someone do the tax practice in our law?
Tax practice.
Yes, like we have involved the US.
Yeah. So one need to enroll themselves with the Tax Practitioner Board of Australia. Again, if you are meeting the regulatory norms, which you have to go through that, and if you are meeting those regulatory norms, you can enroll yourself as Tax Practitioner Board, and you can do that taxation thing for Australian clients. And we met few of the members, I think in Kochi, who is associated with the Tax Practitioner Board. They are running a small firm and they are based out of India. and she got the signing rights and she is getting the clients and they are getting it.
Was that through MRA or was there?
She is a CPA member through MRA, but she has spent good number of years already in Australia, wherein like she enrolled herself and then she came back and she is doing everything from coaching. So I'm sure people around doing these things, and that's how like we organize a lot of members events where we expect people to come and meet with the members and see how they are doing and performing in the different areas to work, and you can explore. Plus, as Bhavishya shared, members connect platform, therein also you can connect with the members and explore the opportunities. See, we have given everything on our website to explore. Once you are a member, you get that access to everything, and it's up to you. How
I think there are two bodies, networking, yes, getting more knowledge and other business.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not sure how this MRA membership is helping getting more business outside my region. I'm US CPA as well. I'm not practicing, but I'm trying to build my network across the US. Same way, this is something which helps me build network in Australia, and if I'm able to do some business with Australian entities, there is something what I'll be looking for.
Okay. So those who are not able to hear the question, so what he is looking for is to explore the business opportunities through networking. Alright. So basically, as we mentioned, networking opportunities we will be providing. Now, when you want to explore business and how you want to do that, again through the networking. And I'm sorry, I forgot your first question.
So, there were two questions. One was around expectation with his sponsor. Second question was about gaining business, right? So if I look at this MRA program, there are two things. One is module which is giving me strategy insight, which we call it mini MBA. Another is, why should I pick up a program? I mean, why will I pick up a program is very reason I want to gain knowledge or business.
Gaining business, and that is from Australia, right?
Yes, global.
Globally. When you want to gain business from any country, be it Australia or US, there is a tendency among the client, like if you are holding CA qualification, probably you won't be getting the weightage because that is not the qualification which is known over there. But when you are a CPA and CA, and when you approach them as a member of CPA Australia, they will be able to relate with you. And then there is a chances when you will put your portfolio and you will reach out to the client like what all services your company will be offering, and they can join and give their work to you. So you have the increased probability of gaining the business from the clients in Australia.
See, in October, in this coming October, it happens every year, right?
It is
Congress.
Yes.
So in October, CPA Australia is organizing a CPA Congress. Lot of ICAI CPA members are going to Australia. People who are exploring, even last month when I was sitting with Mr. Talati, so Mr. Talati has also got an invite to be a part of that event. A lot of our members, because they are members, they will obviously get the invite to be a part of that CPA Congress. When I say that, and then she was also mentioning that, see, sitting here in India, expecting a business from any country, it's not an easy thing to do, unless and until you have a very big setup and a big organization profile. The client in other countries can see and feel the credibility. So honestly, you have to be in front of the client. You have to put the name on that face in front of the client. And this is what we can do. We can facilitate your introductions. We can invite you to our congress where there will be, I don't know, thousands of people from all over the world be a part of that event. And why do people come to the event? To find out the right set of opportunities. So, I'll be very honest and candid about it. Becoming a CPA will not give you business. Becoming a CPA will not give you a job. Honestly. But there will be there is a platform that we completely provide. We support our members with that. But how do you do that?
Yeah, I think most beneficial advantage will be is giving you access to people.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So even in CA, people who become chartered accountant, there are different or separate level of practice that a lot of CAs are doing. It all depends on the effort that one is putting it. Similarly, becoming a CPA Australia, we just want to be honest, we don't want to enroll you as a CPA Australia member to grow our numbers. We don't want that. We absolutely don't want that. And that is the reason that I'm dead honest in front of you, that if you're thinking that becoming a CPA Australia will give you business, becoming CPA Australia will be giving you a job, sorry, this is not going to happen. But we will definitely provide you the platform. We will definitely provide you the platform. Yes, sir, please.
If you are CPA US, then do we have to write the exam?
Sorry?
If you are CPA US,
Yeah.
do we have to write exam?
No, sir.
No.
But sir, the point is,
Not vice versa as well.
yeah. So no. So if you are a full CPA Australia member based out of Australia, then it's a complete exemption for CPA US also.
Anyway, that's a different MRA. So
Yeah, it's a different MRA. But anyways, and that's the reason that, see, I'll be very honest with you. We don't want to grow the numbers in India. We just want right set of people to be associated with, and right set of organizations to be, we want it to be very organic, and that is the reason that around 2 years back, when we realized that CPA Australia member, its numbers are growing. What do we do with that? And that is the reason that we started entering into the organization. And the most interesting part, the first ever organization in India that we onboarded is an Indian organization. It's not an Australian organization, and I'm sure everybody knows about GMR Infrastructures. GMR Infrastructure was the first organization that we have onboarded in India as a recognized employer partner. Although it took us almost 4-5 months, it's a huge conglomerate. But after that, the organization that Babita was mentioning, which is based out of Ahmedabad, it houses almost 2,500 employees, which is an Australian organization. It is called as Be Free. I don't know if you have heard the name, but you can Google about it. They have around 1,000 clients based out of Australia. Be Free, BE Free. And Manu Bhai and Shah.
I mean, lot of what is coming from Australia. I know few of my contacts are doing very good, so definitely there's there. Let's see, I mean, how it works. One more thing, just last question. We said the membership is upfront available, associate membership, and this exam is something. This is mandatory, or this is something optional. I can continue without the exam for further membership.
But there is no fun. So you will keep on having an associate member, but you will never become a CPA member. So becoming a CPA member gives you another advantage. So for example, Mahesh is a CPA member because he has cleared the subject, he has become a CPA member. So we also explore and identify senior members. We explore and identify CPA members. We also support them, in terms of building their brand also. So tomorrow we are having a big session in Chennai. Day after tomorrow we are having a big members meet in Chennai that will be attended by almost 100 of our members. And we have identified some young chartered accountants who are also CPA Australia members to talk about, what is the topic that we are having?
So we are doing this members meet wherein we have this topic called personal branding as well as navigating successful global economy, outsourcing. So the member he is talking about, he is a CPA member, and he did CPA program during the COVID time, and immediately after COVID time he opened his own firm. He is the founder of one of the organization and he is doing very well. And what I heard from him long back when he first cracked, a client in Australia. So he said it is easy to have build your client relationship from USA because he is doing some practicing work for USA as well. But when you look into Australia is quite like they are not too open. When you reach out to them, they might take longer duration to sign up with you as providing the business. but once you get the business, you are at ease. So they will give you, and once you build that kind of trust with them, so the continuity will be there. So he is doing well with his global work with outsourcing from different firms. So that's how like we help him in terms of, as he mentioned, building their own brand as well.
I think there's nothing to lose in it. It's all
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, see, I'm an Indian, I'm not an Australian, but I don't know. It's a matter. It's not a very big amount. I think overall investment into the program would be to the tune of 1 lakh rupees. Can be a big amount. I'm pretty sure, but the opportunity is bigger than 1 lakh rupees for the program, and it totally depends on an individual.
What is the membership?
760 Australian dollars, around 35,000 rupees.
Annual membership.
Annual membership. Once you attain a CPA program, and another interesting fact. So Australia, you wanted to ask a question? Just give me a moment. So Australia is the only country in the world who has one of the largest superannuation fund, which is in the tune of some $1 trillion. Another thing is, I was talking about ICTA, Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement Act. So and I'm sure you have more understanding and knowledge than I have, but I believe when two countries or two organizations exchanges goods, services, the next thing that get exchanged is money. When money get exchanged, whom do we need? We need people who understand the nuances of India, people who understand the nuances of Australia from the taxation standpoint. Because you are chartered accountant, you are exempted across all the papers, and you have to only give global strategy and leadership. But CPA Australia is, just show it to you. So I have not mentioned, you can see it's only in the world, it's only CPA Australia that gives electives to be picked up. You can pick and choose the electives from a range of almost 10 to 12 subjects. And what are those subjects? We have seen that chartered accountants, so those subjects, number 1, Australia taxation, number 2, Singapore taxation, number 3, Hong Kong taxation, New Zealand taxation. So depending on the area of interest in those particular market, you can learn, understand about those. So this is something that you can pick up additionally. I mean, you don't need to do it, but if you have the appetite to learn about that particular market, because when you're sitting in front of the client and you're talking his language, that will build up your credibility. So we are also adding a program on sustainability into one of the electives. So that's where the qualification sits. And that's where we are proud of our qualification. That's where the organizations are asking us to give them a pipeline of 3 to 5 years, how we can support them in terms of people who learn about all these things. No other organization, no other professional accounting body is giving you or making you learn taxation of other countries, but we are doing that. Yes, sir.
How many CPA are required to maintain the membership?
Sorry?
How many CPA are required?
CPD hours.
Yeah, typically.
So on an annual basis, one need to meet a minimum 20 CPD hours in a year, but in a triennium, total of 120 CPD hours. So this is the requirement, and to complete these CPD hours, we do support in a different way, like we conduct members event, we conduct online sessions which is free of cost. Other than that, you will get that access to the online CPD library, and there are certain free courses. Usually 30 to 35 hour CPD hour courses are free on an annual basis. And other than that, being a chartered accountant, if you are doing any CPD hours with your institute, you can claim that under the CPD directly, and in any organization which is under the recognized employer partnership, you can claim your CPD learning from the trainings which you are getting within the organization. So it is very easy to track your CPD.
And I think very similar to the ICAI
yes.
also.
Yeah, I'm just exploring whether is there any reciprocal agreement between the ICAI?
Sir. So any
the CP hours which you are doing with the ICAI, you can claim that under the CPD directory. and that will be credited to you in terms of towards the CPD hours of CPA Australia. So I think you have some question, yeah.
My name is Vijay. I have two questions for you. What is work culture in Australia?
Sorry, you are not
How is
audible.
work culture in Australia?
How's work culture in Australia?
Yeah, I have two questions. And next thing is, what is the average salary of person holding CPA CPA?
So I'll tell you something. I can tell you anything, but don't go by my words. Do your own research. So salaries totally depends. I can tell you around 60 to 70,000 Australian dollars, but it's a word. I think you should 60 to 70,000 Australian dollars for a fresher.
Yeah, just to add here, your salary depends on your visa also. If you have temporary visa, your salary will differ. If you are a citizen, your salary will differ. You have PR, again salary will differ.
Which organization you have worked for, what kind of experience you have, which industry you are moving into. So it's an interesting and important question, but I think drill it down to very specific thing. What do you want? As far as work culture is concerned, so it's an interesting work culture. So they don't work.
After 6 p.m.
No, 6? No.
5 p.m.
And generally after on a lot of I don't know, I can say that, but a lot of organizations in Australia have wine room in their offices. So after, so I'm just sharing, so we don't drink, I mean, but it's okay, it depends. But it's the culture that I'm talking about. It's a very easy culture.
To add again one more point, so recently, if you Google it now, so Australian government they got a new rule, new act basically. So the act says that after office hours, you don't have to answer your employer's emails. That's the best thing. But again, again I said it again depends. Let's say if you put Australia, if you get a boss like me who is in India. Same, you will see the same again. Again, if you get a boss like who is from China, it differs. If you get an Australian, maybe yes, as I said, they are good. I even think it depends.
What is the age limit for migrating workers? Age limit? Age limit for migrating workers?
I think it differs. And the 35 is?
No, I think you can check on the Department of Home Affairs website. The age limit highest is 45. After you attain the age of 45, you can't migrate under the work visa. But there are different visa categories which we are not aware of, or I don't want to delve into that because it might be misleading information. We don't keep on track of the Department of Home Affairs website. So please visit that website and see, and maybe you can seek some assistance from migration agent. But 45 is what is published.
Is the maximum limit. The younger you are, the more points you get.
Yes.
So can I know more about associate CPA?
Associate CPA?
ASA.
ASA? So, you are a member, but you are not a full CPA member. So, all the events that we conduct, and interestingly, so you don't need to pay to be a part of CPA Australia events. So we invite all our associate members free of cost. It's complimentary invitations that we send. Whether we are conducting an event in Taj Coromandel in Chennai day after tomorrow, and or any event that we conduct, networking events. So and then you get to learn a lot of things from the professional development module standpoint. The moment you will become associate member, you have the access of Member Connect portal. So a lot of things are there. Once you become member, you will get to know about the body.
I mean that it also has membership fees every year.
Yeah, so the full year membership fees is 341 Australian dollars.
I mean even for associate.
There is an associate membership fee, $341.
$40.
Can we call it like this? If you become ASA, your like say semi-qualified CA. What does your
We don't use this terminology like say
equivalent to.
associate means for us they are currently pursuing a program. So basically at the student level, once they complete, then they get the CPA designation. So like at ICAI, when you are pursuing, you don't get that designation, you are called as student. But once you get your membership number, then you call it, you are called as an associate member of ICAI. So associates are getting, in our case, almost the similar benefits with CPA members are getting. But CPA members sits, of course, because they have advanced, they have completed in organization, the value is more. But when somebody reach out to some organization and showcase, this I'm talking about somebody who is studying the full program, that I'm currently bachelor's, master's, but I'm currently taking up the professional qualification. So for them it becomes an added advantage because organization will think that okay, this person is working towards getting the accounting qualification and a professional one, and probably different organization have got different structure. When we were talking to multinationals here in India, so they generally believe that somebody who's completed 50% of the program, they get some additional benefits in the paychecks, like they are getting better salary as compared to those who are not holding professional qualification or not working towards the professional qualification. But in your case, because it is one subject, so take your designation in 6 months. Yeah, why to just keep your associate degree? Take the benefits of fully qualified chartered CPA member.
Any
Yeah.
other questions?
So, one thought is, just like how ICAI conducts campus interviews, is there any facilities similar?
So, CPA, what we have seen that CPA Australia as a program has been pursued by the professionals who are already working, or because it's above the graduation level with 3 years of work experience. So we don't have any campus placements or campus interviews. But in India, what we are doing right now is, since we are collaborating with a lot of organizations, we are going to derive a process wherein any of such openings or any of such, for example, so today HP asked us if we can provide them 100, they need 100 people or 30-35 people or 20 people at certain level, these people at certain level. So we are devising such process, but there will not be any campus interviews that we will get. And we will keep our members abreast about the opportunities which are there in these organizations. Sir, I am so sorry. My dear friend has been raising his hand from quite some time and I was not able to take it. Please.
I just wanted to know, like these many CPA firms in Australia is looking to outsource work to India.
Yeah.
Like, what is that trend? Like also, you mentioned that you have discussed some of the CA in Ahmedabad. What is his journey like?
So, his journey was very interesting. I'll quickly sum it up in 2 statements. The first year he made 500 Australian dollars only. The second year he made 5,000 Australian dollars. But he was very, up for it. He just kept on doing it. And that's what he has shared on the podium. I'm just verbatim quoting him. That's what he has done. So, a lot of CPA firms are there. I mean, in fact, Be Free as an organization that I'm talking about, they are serving almost 1,000 clients.
I just want to announce between 2 things. So some people are planning to leave, and I can understand that everybody is coming from office and probably they are getting late. We have the dinner upstairs, and as Bhavishya mentioned during his presentation, people who are attending the session today, they will be getting the application fee waiver of $192. So please mark your attendance while leaving, so that we can extend that application fee waiver offer.
So what we can do, we can have last question, and while having a dinner, we can have a personal chit chat, and then we can, you want to ask a question?
Thank you. You said that you will provide a platform, because you can't provide anything else than the platform. The platform, you said if you qualify a CPA, we can provide a platform.
Yeah.
So what kind of platform you are referring here?
So when I say platform, two platform, online as well as offline. So online is a continuous platform which is CPA Member Connect portal.
Okay.
Second is the offline or in-person platform, which includes if you are, we are conducting an events, we will be inviting you with the, probably the organizations that you are looking at. Thirdly, since we are devising a strategy in order to catch up with these organizations that we are meeting and onboarding with us as a recognized employer partners, as and when there are certain openings, we will be sharing it with our members depending on their work experience, the kind of work that they have done, what are the requirements of the organization. We will be identifying, shortlisting those members, and we will be sharing certain opportunities with our members as well.
So does it mean it is in Australia also you are providing the platform, or it is only in India within India?
No, it's a global platform.
Global.
Ah. So a Member Connect platform is a global platform.
Offline.
Offline, so we are doing it for India.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, got it.
Anywhere in the world, CPA Australia doesn't do it.
Okay.
So because we are new in India. We are new in India. A lot of people aren't aware about CPA Australia in India. Although we have almost 5,000-6,000 members, out of which a lot of members have already moved out to other countries, probably Singapore, because in Singapore CPA Australia is very highly recognized. In China, CPA Australia is very highly recognized. Obviously Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Hong Kong, a lot of these countries, CPA Australia is highly recognized. And yeah, it's a platform that we really put.
So being a young professional,
Sorry?
Being a young CA, if I'm planning to go to Dubai or US, as well as Singapore, does CPA add an added advantage?
Absolutely.
I understand it's a global course, but still, do you have any tie-ups or your organizations being in those?
So we have tie-up with 25 professional bodies, and I'll tell you something. I don't know whether I should be saying it or not, but in UAE, there are 5 accounting bodies which are recognized, and one of them is CPA Australia. So it's not only Dubai, it's in Singapore. CPA Australia is highly regarded and recognized. We have around some few hundred employers in Singapore which hire CPA Australia members. We have a CPA, we have our organization owned office in Singapore. So India office basically reports into Singapore office.
You're trying to say that you're recognizing UAE means it gives you a job, or you can start some audit firm?
You can do that, but probably you need to attain the public practice certificate.
One more.
Yeah. So let's do one thing. I think we have a hard stop, so we can have a discussion while having food. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, guys. Thank you so much.
So I'm pretty sure today's session was very productive, and along with CPA Australia, the gates to the global market and the global opportunities will definitely open. That is what we can assure you. So thank you so much from the CPA Australia and the CA Mahesh as well. Thank you for coming over here and briefing with the members regarding the opportunities, benefits, and the global goals. Thank you so much. So I request CA Harish, please sir, please do come on the dais and present memento, token of appreciation, to CA Mahesh. And also, sir, I would like to request you to hand over a memento to Bhavishya. Please. And we also request Babita Pasi to please come on the dais to collect the token of appreciation and the memento. Thank you so much today's speakers and also my dear fellow members. Thank you so much for attending today's session. So your continued interest in the programs of ICAI Bangalore branch, I hope it continues. And as also in the beginning I was mentioning about the 4 certification programs. The first one will be FAFD, the second one is going to be DISA, third one is AI related certification, and third one is going to be sustainability reporting certification, which we are going to host in the Bangalore branch website in the month of October and November. Thank you so much.